Yes, people, welcome back to NAF. Welcome back to the channel. And we're here to talk about Liverpool, who just beat Brighton 2-1 at Anfield. And in short words, as quickly as possible, has absolutely frustrated me because every single time a team decides they want to give me a little bit of hope, I always get put back in the mud. Yeah. And now they're sitting at the top of the table, top of the tree by what, 2 points now? And two very much valuable points, 7 points above Arsenal. The goals are just always flying in from somewhere. Mr. Clutch, yet again, Mo Salah. McAllister, injury concerns, but still manageable. It's one man I'd like to think that changed a bit of the game, other than the manager. But before we do that, please, for our sponsors, show them some respect. Everyone that subscribes to Never a Foul already knows when it comes to football predictions, I am rarely wrong and the very best, especially when it comes to new players and players that are going to make it at certain clubs. So when Mick Herrera reached out to me and asked, with all this football expertise and knowledge, why do you not cash in on it? And it got me asking how. And this is when they introduced to me Mick Herrera. Mick Herrera is a game changer. You can invest in players just like stocks, but the best thing about it is testing around your football knowledge of whom is actually going to make it. So for example, Kobbie Mainoo of Manchester United Football Club, if you feel like he's going to be the next big thing, then you can go and invest in him and potentially watch his stocks grow. You can buy and sell safely and securely, 100% guarantee on their platform just like that. Prices will rise and fall depending on the market demand for these players, so just make sure you go and check Mick Herrera out. You will notice some of your favorite players or certain players are not on the market just yet, but don't you worry, there's a voting system which you can vote for to get these players on the market just like William Saliba. So go sign up to Mick Herrera right now. It's completely free to do so. If you want to find out where it is, you can go in the description, click the link, or even better, you can go and scan the QR code. So what are you guys waiting for? Go and make some money based off your football knowledge at mickherrera.com. Well, I hope you lot got your stocks up in there because there's all sorts of stocks that you can grab from Liverpool players or introduce. But beyond that, this team must be stopped. As a United fan, I refuse to even believe they got some sort of hope at clinching that title. Because at the moment, if you look at the top three teams that are in for the title, more than less, Arsenal, Manchester City, and Liverpool, they are the best performing out of the three. And you know what? I wouldn't say any of them are playing spectacular or anyone's playing amazing. But with Liverpool, doesn't matter if they play crap. It doesn't matter if they play well, average, beyond bad. They've always got something up their sleeves, and it's just really frustrating to watch. And if you're mutual, right, or neutral at that, and you're watching the game and you just think it from a perspective, and you like the tactical side, you'd be impressed. Let's not act like Liverpool were great in this game because they wasn't. And I'm not even trying to diss Liverpool. This is anything. It's just the praise that I was just kind of continuing off of. If we go into the first half, I thought, wow, like Brighton, they got something here. They're really pushing them back. You know, they got the first goal. Ruta, I think it was Ruta that scored that goal, and I was thinking, like, yeah, you know what? We might be onto something. They look really comfortable. Liverpool, like their passing's off. They don't know what to do. Like chances not really flying in. There was one. Well, there was one pretty much at the back post that could have went anywhere, but it just didn't materialize. And I thought, yeah, Brian's got something here. And half time happens, and I'm thinking, yeah, you know what? Liverpool started getting back into the game normal. But little did I realize, of course, just like per usual, Liverpool's second half happens. They come out firing. When I say firing, I mean with a bit more urgency, a little bit more energy, something a bit about them. Every time Slot gets a hold of these lot, it just reminds me of Klopp a little sec, like with this team. Second half, I expect the next 10, 15 to be detrimental. I'm pretty sure Slot was going to change things up eventually. And all the players were literally running their socks off. Trent was having a bad game. If it wasn't for Kelleher, they would have went 2-0 down. We're going to forget about that. Kelleher saved them. I believe Matoma, I think it's called Ayari. Ayari putting a sublime ball in the first half for Matoma to run onto, I'm pretty sure. I'm correct me if I'm wrong. And it could have been 2, and Kelleher saved them yet again. No Allison in the team. Not being spoken about. An injured McAllister, you could say, not being spoken about. Joe Gomez, I thought, was actually, it's a shame that Kanate got injured because he's been doing really well with fitness. And this ain't really a class of injury prone on him because he landed very awfully, like whether it's his wrist or arm. It looked like he might have sprained something. So Joe Gomez might get his chance, definitely above Kwanzaa. But with Joe Gomez coming, I thought, you know what, he might. I think this is going to suit the attackers of Brighton because who are little bit more nimble, got a bit more acceleration to them, like to turn in tight spaces. Joe Gomez has been playing fullback of recent, so obviously he might be more used to that. Exactly the case. After that, it's just like Brian absolutely capitulated. It's just like, wow, a couple more subs for Liverpool. This could go really left. Gakpo's getting more into the game. Salah, he could have made it 1-1, to be fair. Like when he tried to dink the keeper, it didn't happen. I think that was, again, if I'm remind me, and I'm thinking they're getting closer and closer. And then, yeah, like Curtis Jones comes onto the pitch. Now, that's the one man I would like to think that changed the whole game. You could say your Diaz's, you can have your top, top players, with the more famous names at the moment. Curtis Jones, when he comes on, the urgency that guy brings, he might just be a great super sub at this rate. Like, I know we started the other day, was against Arsenal or last week, and it didn't exactly have the impact as he did previously, before the week before. But for me, when he came on, it's just like he just executed exactly what Slot wanted, just high energy, high press, forcing them into mistakes, into transitions. And then before you know it, Gakpo swings in a really nice ball from the left. And Darwin Núñez, I don't, you know what? I know he gets a lot of his criticisms and he gets a lot of critiques, right? But I reckon he ducked on purpose because he ducked down. It didn't look like a player that was trying to go for the ball. And I thought this is where Darwin like maybe showed a little bit of IQ. Maybe I'm overselling it, yeah. And maybe I'm trying to look at it in a way where trying to protect him a little bit because I know he gets hounded by Mons and the rest of the crew, right? But he looked like he ducked down to me. And then before you know it, he just creeps into the back of the net and it acts as Gakpo's goal. I thought he might have come off Van Heck from a header, but he didn't. He just traveled. And, and that goal was always coming. And because of one thing, because Stupinan is stupid enough, yeah, to go and have a little bit of a tussle with Trent in the corner of the field. And you hear the Anfield lot just like roaring after that. It was around 60th minute. I could be wrong. And it's just like, oh, here we go. This Anfield curse, people say, oh, Anfield hype. I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to keep living it up. I'm going to keep hoping whilst I'm watching the Manchester City game as well. Right now, as it stands, they're losing and, Liverpool really need points if they want to go top of the league. And then before you know it, the goal goes in. I said, yep, it's done. This game's wrapped. And you know what? It comes to down to that moment, that man always, all the time. Again, like I said, it's matter if you play crap, if they play well, obviously, average or beyond garbage, bin juice settings, that man comes up 80% of the time. Mo Salah. What a finish, by the way. Wrapped it. Bins. Insane. At this point, I just think he's being greedy now. If he wants to leave the club, go out on a high. Why not? It's these sort of games that are so important. And it just makes me wonder sometimes with Liverpool, is there another gear? Because every time I watch Liverpool, it's like they're selling me a dream slide. Like, are you off the boil or is this the game plan? Which one is it? Because it can't be one or the other. Because it's starting to annoy me now. Every time we revisit that Forest game, it's just a blip. And don't get me wrong, the key word, sustainability. Can this keep happening? Yes, it can. Do you know what the difference between Liverpool and most teams? They got X factor. They got X factor. And it's so frustrating to say because obviously they are my arch nemesis in this whole football game. No doubt about it. But I'm just going to be honest on the game, right? And this is it. And they're top of the league. And you know what? When you realize it, they really deserve it as well. They've handled this period extremely well at that, And yes, they've got more tests to come at some point. I'm pretty sure they got whatever fixtures. They got Aston Villa next, I believe, in the league, which will be another test, of course. A little bit more resolute than a Brighton side. But, Brighton, you got to credit Brighton as well. They played out from the back like very well, beautifully, as they usually do. And you know what? They gave it a good go, Even the cup game was good. And I didn't think Liverpool were going to struggle a little bit, but they did. They made it really hard. They didn't play with a high line that we all expected. But yeah, Liverpool, man, this is, again, just Slot. His in-game management's insane. It's not, I don't think it's spoken about enough. I don't. That bald head of his just needs a little slap and just a little connection on that. You know what I'm saying? It's just, please, just struggle just a little bit. Let me have some joy about this. But yeah, they just keep winning. Liverpool just keep winning. And you know what? Right now, this is why they get the tag of mentality monsters a bit as well. Don't get me wrong. Over the years, might have been overused. Obviously, the true mentality monsters were, of course, and being shown it is Manchester City. But if we really want to throw that word correct, that's what that is, because they got the players that have been there, they've done that, they're clutch, and they come up in moments, even if they have a horrible game. The mentality is really showing. I want to call them monsters as of yet, but someone that's had for a team that's had a club change, club board change as well, from management to upper, the directors and so forth, and obviously the coaching, they've done more than well. And some may say, oh, but they're going it's a period where City are going through a bit of a turn, they're going through a little bit of a sort of phase and whatnot, and Arsenal, yada yada yada. Fuck all of that. Sorry for swearing. I apologize. But forget all of that. It's not the case. It's just them. It's like built into them. It's installed into them even. The players as well. They know what it is. They know what it means to like bleed for the badge at this rate. And I'm not overselling it. It's just the truth. And they're gonna keep winning. And you're gonna have to get used to it a little bit. And you're gonna have to, as United fans, if you're watching this, we gotta hope that there's a little bit of a drop-off period. Because again, I say it out loud. I would prefer Manchester City to do a 5P. I'd rather Arsenal go get their league, even though they're going to be very shameless. My hopes are rested on Chelsea. Not my own team. My team should be there, but Chelsea. And you know what? They could beat us tomorrow, potentially. I don't know. They might do, they might not do. We'll see. But I reckon we'll do that win. But we're not going to be up there. But if Chelsea are going to be the candidates, I'd rather them do it, because I don't see, at this moment of time, not to be reactionary, who really gets the dub over Liverpool. I know they got Man City coming up soon as well. And Man City, let's be real with each other. Man City don't look great. They're struggling. And that could lead to a 5-point gap. Depending on who Man City's got coming up next, I don't know. I haven't really seen their fixtures, so we'll see on that one. But do smash the like button. Do subscribe as well. Go check out as well Macarena as well. If you've seen it, and you want to skip the promotional part, it's actually something decent. It's not haram or anything alike. So yeah, go check him out. It's interesting at least. But yeah, in a bit, hopefully you enjoyed the video enough, because I didn't. I don't like talking like this. It's annoying. But yeah, kudos till next time.